All right, man. So apparently Trump just fired Attorney General Pam Bondi. Let's check this out, man.
An NBC News special report. Here's Hallie Jackson.
This is new.
Good day. We are coming on the air with breaking news. President Trump has apparently fired his Attorney General Pam Bondi, according to a senior
fired. Let's see why.
Administration official and a source familiar with the matter. This comes after NBC News learned that the president has grown frustrated with his attorney general in recent days, according to multiple sources. I want to get right to our team covering all of it. Our Chief Justice and National Affairs correspondent Kelly O'Donnell is joining us. We've also got our White House correspondent Monica Alba as well. Kelly, let me start with you. This is not all.
She dropped the Epstein thing. There is no list. There was a list. First she said there was a list and it was on her desk. There is no list. Then the list comes out, not with the names. The names are redacted. They're still redacted to this day. Iran took over. This chick had to go yesterday, man. Thank God she's fired.
Together, surprising, considering the reporting from NBC that the president was frustrated with Bondi's performance leading the Department of Justice.
And we've often seen the president let some of his intentions, feelings, concerns bubble out publicly as one measure of how he makes these decisions. For Pam Bondi, this is a blow because she has been a very loyal sort of friend and ally of the president for a long time.
She was a dumbass, bro.
Going back to Florida, assisting in the first Trump term. And this, in many ways...
It's somebody else up there, man. Bring Matt Gaetz, somebody who's going to do something about this shit, man.
It comes down to a representation of the frustration that President Trump has, that his vision for how he could exact retribution against political rivals and those who had, in his perception, done him wrong at some past point to be brought to justice. That has not happened, even though this Department of Justice under Pam Bondi has attempted to do so in a number of areas where we've seen the failed attempts to prosecute James Comey or Letitia James. Then there's the broader issue of the Epstein files. There was a moment where Pam Bondi, who in the journey of her time as Attorney General has been both loyal but has also committed some self-inflicted errors. She talked about having the so-called Epstein list on her desk, and that never materialized. She had led people to believe there would be more coming on Epstein, and then initially last summer, the Department of Justice said the files would be closed, there was no action to be taken, and that triggered a groundswell that was a broader political
What a stupid dumbass, honestly, man. Thank God. I was starting to get disappointed about, this is good. I'm happy this happened.
Coalition than you might expect. Certainly those in the MAGA community and then those who were very supportive of the survivor community around Epstein. Hallie, you've talked to a number of those survivors, and there was a political engine that developed around them, bringing it to a point where Congress required...
She'd get, asked, questions, and she's like, we're doing well with the stock market, and we're doing well. It's like, well, we don't have enough to pay the bills, but we have our health, and we have... What a dumbass, bro. Do your job. Do your job, and you didn't do it, and now you're fucking fired. You're fired.
The Department of Justice to produce those files. They have done so, but only in a limited way. It has not been the full set of files.
It has not.
So Pam Bondi has not been able to insulate the president from...
And the people are still waiting, man. And don't be surprised if in the midterms you lose because of this dumb shit. That's what's going to happen.
Some of the criticism related to the Epstein ordeal. She has not been able to deliver on some of his desired...
Pam Bondi, Attorney General of dumb shit.
Prosecutions, and that frustration has apparently bubbled up. All the ways in which she has been loyal were certainly put in a back seat, and she was in the seat with him yesterday going in the beast, as it's known, the presidential limousine, to the Supreme Court to listen to one of the key ideas of his time in office, which is birthright citizenship that he wants to challenge. Apparently, she was unable to save herself in those personal, direct moments with the president. She attended his speech last night in the White House. So personal relationships only go so far. Loyalty is sometimes only one way when we observe Donald Trump. And Pam Bondi, Attorney General of the United States, is out. Hallie?
As we're looking at some of these images, Kelly, that video of the apparently now former Attorney General being seen with President Trump as he visited the Supreme Court yesterday. Let me bring in Monica Alba now. So the question is, who takes her place. This is an incredibly prominent cabinet position. It's critically important to the functioning of the Trump administration. It is a department that the president has a personal interest in and has taken an interest in. We know that the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, has been somebody who has been vocal, who has been prominent on the airwaves. There's also some reporting that we have from sources that former Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin may also be in the mix.
Yeah, and of course, he is already in the cabinet, Lee Zeldin, Hallie, that you referenced there, as the EPA administrator. So he is somebody who could be potentially tapped for that. But it does appear now that the president spoke by phone with another outlet and seemed to confirm that Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, would now take the place of interim Attorney General, at least at this moment. While they
I remember when she had like these binders and stuff, bro. What a waste of time, man. Honestly, I don't know if you hired her to be politically correct or DEI or something, but clearly, you know, the incompetence from day one, you could see it, you know, the fumbling of the Epstein. That's where I would have fired her ass. I don't know why it took this long. Maybe he wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, but that took too long, man. I would have fired her, you know, yesterday. Shit, man.
Do figure out this transition, and before they do make any potential announcements, it is typical for the president of the United States to be the one that usually shares some of this information on Truth Social or in some kind of an appearance or announcement, but he has yet to do that. But as Kelly just pointed out, Pam Bondi has been a ubiquitous figure in this White House. She has attended many of the events. She has traveled with the president quite frequently. She's been at his side more than, of course, any other attorney general in recent memory. When you think about the sort of separation between the head of the Department of Justice and a White House and that wall that goes between the two, that is something that was essentially erased in this administration. And the president had Pam Bondi at his side all of the time. And there was a message posted some months ago in which he seemed to and appeared to post what was meant to be a private message that started with the word Pam : and had a directive about actions that he wanted to see her take on when it came to potential indictments for people that he wanted to see happen in a faster way with more of an urgency to it, directing her essentially to really treat that as a top priority. So we know that that frustration had been bubbling since then, and the White House hadn't confirmed that that was something that the president meant to make public, but he did, and we later were able to confirm and report that that was exactly the case. And the president hasn't been shy about that. He has said publicly that he would like to see more cases go forward, and he has expressed that mounting frustration when he feels that that hasn't happened in certain particular cases. So this was a situation in which the president really has resisted a lot of high turnover in his cabinet. Of course, some weeks ago, we did see the DHS secretary, former Secretary Kristi Noem, fired from her position before former senator, now the new DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen, was put into place. And that had been the first actual...
The chicks were the first to go. Big surprise, man. The chicks were the first to go.
Cabinet secretary that was ousted.
I'm sorry, but you know, these women don't belong in, you know, these roles. They belong at home raising kids, man. You know, it's just incompetent. You know, you're not equipped to handle it. You can't withstand the pressure. Not everybody, right? There's women that are, you know, born into those kind of positions, right, around the world, I'm sure. But for the most part, it's just not for you. It's not. And this is what happens. And the fumbling of the Epstein, bro, and just the stupid replies and the answers that she gave in that one hearing, it was embarrassing, man.
And then replaced. So Pam Bondi will be the second in a very critical role here, as she has been involved in many of the very urgent matters and situations that the president has been dealing with, from everything on national security to, again, some of these more local and domestic investigations that he wanted her to pursue.
And Monica, as you were delivering that report to us, one of our colleagues, Gabe Gutierrez, is reporting that according to a source familiar with the decision, it's Todd Blanche who will step into place as the acting attorney general for now. Again, not unexpected. We will see if that holds potentially for Blanche as a permanent position. Monica Alba, thank you. Kelly O'Donnell, our thanks to you as well. That does it for now for our NBC News special report. But we've got...
Well, that happened. You know, it was expected. It took a while. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be curious to see what you have to say about this, but you know, this was way overdue, in my opinion. Way overdue. And the people have not forgotten, we want to see that full list, unredacted, and we want people to get in trouble, man. People need to, they need to face justice, And that's what we're waiting for to happen. None of this Iran distraction, Venezuela distractions, Cuba distractions, Greenland distractions. This is a priority. And they better focus up, or they're just going to lose the midterms, man. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, repost, all that good stuff. I will see you all in the next one, man. Peace.